We have a quorum. The agenda was properly posted. We are at number 3, public appearances, public opportunity to speak. Is there anyone from the public that would like to say anything? I don't see anyone in the room. No one online. All right, then we will move to number 4, discuss and consider the minutes from the previous Public Works meeting.
I would move approval of the minutes from March 12th.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Otherwise, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? All right, motion passes. Move to number 5, unfinished business. Review the official traffic map.
Ladies and gentlemen, in your packet and kind of zoomed on this screen, you will find a draft version of our official traffic map. If you search official traffic map in our ordinances, you will find it comes up in a lot of locations. And no one really had an official traffic map. So my staff and I, as well as PD, have gone through the oldest version that we could find, which was from 2016, 2015, back in MSA days, and have revamped it to make it match.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's pretty.
Sorry, I may have done that to you.
Okay. Wow. Power.
Can you add me as share?
Yep. There you go.
So as it stands right now in this form, everything relates mostly to our ordinances. And I apologize, there's like one thing, our ordinance lists school crossings. Our school crossings have its own policy that, depending on if there's any comments from this committee, what your thoughts are on everything that's listed is I would propose that I would look at the ordinances and propose any changes to this committee to reflect this map. This map also reflects in our ordinances relation to ultimately village board and village president has final say on stop sign locations, speed signs. I think there's some language that we can have a discussion on whether we think it should be Public Works recommendation to village board, Public Works director, chief of police, village engineer. I think those things that is something that we could discuss here. Very color coordinated. There's a lot going on the map. There's a legend up at the top. It's pretty hard to see in this format sharing on the screen. It is a large map. If you're interested, I do have this printed out at my office. So if you ever would like to stop by and see the full printed out version, you're more than welcome to stop by and we can walk through. But I'd be curious if there are any comments, concerns, interests that you see. Both Lisa and Chief Gary have reviewed it, provided their insight from readability, as they're the ones who usually access it most.
My only thought would be the heavy truck routes on Landmark and Matt Pass that go all the way to the neighborhood there. Do they need to go south of Limestone?
I know Grand Appliance is there, and I believe there's one other business that is listed there, but that can be something that we look at. So the other thing to note is this also does not include no parking on, what is the other side of that street? I apologize, one sec. Limestone. So the way our ordinance is read, Limestone Pass has winter parking, does not follow winter parking restrictions, so you can park no matter what side during winter. So that comes up very confusing on this West Limestone Pass because of the way it's listed. So that would be a recommendation that I would update in the ordinance, as well as West Limestone Pass has to follow our alternate side parking during the winter operations. But I can look at that trucking route as well. I'm not sure how much trucking comes from this PFS TECO.
Well, and Shared Medical has a driveway south of Limestone on Matt Pass that they would have the right to haul to. So it makes sense that it ends at the plat line, despite the fact that we don't want through traffic, thus the need for signs. But we would have to keep it signed that way because they and Alcivia have driveways off those two streets.
So explain that to me, I guess. Like it stops at the residential, so there's no trucks
Right.
going to the residential. Why extend it to the residential?
Because there are driveways beyond Limestone Pass. So we can't stop it at Limestone Pass, or we cut off legal access to their driveways that are on those streets.
So you have to stop it at a street. You can't really stop at mid-block.
Well, we
Or
kind
we
of have to.
can. Yeah, I mean, no trucks can go past there. So I can update it to where this map shows that this blue line stops mid-block.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Because we can sign it after the driveway.
Yep, it's already signed.
Any other questions, comments? Paula?
Just, I guess, a clarification on what is considered heavy truck traffic, because in just looking at this and in my opinion, I don't see a lot of what I would consider heavy truck traffic on Cottage Grove Road, as much as in the Commerce Park and the other places, so.
That is all based because N and BB or Main Street and Cottage Grove Road were originally county highways. All of the county highways allow heavy truck traffic, so we can't really cut that access off. Any other questions, comments? If anyone would like to see the paper copy, I'm always happy to show
Yeah,
it.
maybe you can explain to me later of why
Yeah.
there's a couple dead ends, I guess, when it comes to the heavy truck traffic. Even going just west of Main Street, what road is that? I don't know. And there's a little north shot, and I
Yep,
if that's a legal thing, okay, great. I guess I just don't understand.
it's all
that.
based on locations of businesses. So like, for example,
Access to a business driveway.
Correct. So if we go to Progress Drive, you have Progress Drive all the way through Bonnie up to this energy performance lighting, because this is technically the end of the business industrial park.
There, okay.
Same thing for the reason why corporate court is included, because previously this was a large trucking company.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it all is dependent on our zoning aspects
Fair.
as well.
Fair. Okay. Thank you.
Anything else? If not, we can move to new business. 6A, discuss the request from Johnson Health Tech to extend the no parking area on Commerce Parkway across from 209 Commerce Parkway exit.
So we have Adam here from Johnson Health Tech to kind of give a little background on what he is requesting in front of his location at on Commerce Parkway.
Hello. Basically, we're just asking to extend out the yellow line that's currently in front of the fire hydrant. Just extend it out in front of 209 Commerce, basically for mostly semi-traffic. Currently, we have personal vehicles parking there, and we've already had a couple close calls with some semis making deliveries to that building. And we're trying to make sure that this doesn't happen to anyone's personal vehicles, because sometimes trucking companies can be very difficult to deal with. So.
Currently, the fire hydrant in about this location is shown on my screen where I'm circling. They're looking for no parking or crossing their access here. Johnson Health, you guys recently acquired the 209 access, correct?
Yes, we're leasing it right now.
So that's why it was not originally part of an overall plat when this area was built or when that building was built.
So I guess I'm a bit torn on this because, like, I don't want anyone's car to get hit, but I also do like the idea of cars narrowing the road there so that people don't go as fast, especially near the daycare. So I don't know. I'm interested to hear what everyone else has to say.
I guess my comment to that is this is a commerce and business park. Yes, we have uses out there that are more automobile friendly, but we have to be able to have all of these customers utilize their trucks to keep their businesses operational and functioning as they should in the commerce and business park. So although I would not be in favor of eliminating street parking altogether, I think we have to address areas that are of specific concern to allow the businesses to function as normal for their daily traffic.
I guess to your concern, Chris, if speed is a concern, which we can monitor, I don't think having parked cars on the side of the road is a good solution to slow vehicles down. You'd do something else if it's a problem, I guess.
Yeah, I think we do, but I mean, parked cars is going to help people.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want that to be the thing that slows people down, I guess.
I would just say, I drove it today, and I see your concern. I would also just raise a concern about East Gaston, because we have kind of the same scenario at Summit with trucks that pull into our delivery, and there's parking on both sides as well. So just to be mindful of that, that is a problem as well, that I've noticed.
Yeah, we are trying to take steps to ameliorate the parking issue we have right now. We actually have about 4 different options we are looking into. So we do know it's an ongoing thing, and we are trying to figure out the best solution for everybody, short-term and long-term for all this. But we also don't want anyone's vehicles getting damaged at the same time.
No, out of curiosity, are these predominantly Johnson Health Tech employees that are parking here, or do we know where, I mean?
It's, from what I've seen, it's a mixture of
Okay.
our employees and then actually the daycare that also. is
Okay,
some
because
of
I
the
know they were
employees.
always a little short on parking too, that they use that for street parking.
Yeah. I took a picture this morning of it. I just didn't have time to email it. But essentially, it's about three to 4 car lengths of pretty much is the width of the driveway that we're looking to just extend out that yellow line to.
Any other discussion?
No,
If-
motion to parking area as shown in this middle.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Otherwise, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No? Abstain? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, then we will move on to C, discuss signing southern portion of Bus Road from West Cottage Grove Road to the dead end in the Shady Grove neighborhood as no parking.
Shady Grove is pretty much built out. There's only a handful of lots left. With that, we are noticing more and more people are attempting to park along the boulevard here on Bus Road. If you remember when the Shady Grove neighborhood was originally constructed, the Bus Road median was just grass with a gravel shoulder. In 2024, there was additional monies left from the streets project, and we were able to curb it through that area. So now we have a curbed median and 2 travel lanes each way. When you have someone parked, it makes it very, very difficult to get by, if not impossible. My recommendation, and in speaking with Chief Gary, would be to sign all of Bus Road as no parking.
Do you know how wide each of those lanes is?
I can give you an approximate because I don't know off the top of my head. You've got about 14 feet plus the curb pan, so you've probably got about 16 feet, 17 feet.
That's not even close to design width for parking plus a travel lane, so I would be completely in favor. The biggest negative is the people that have driveways along there would not have any street parking for visitors. And I guess that becomes a major issue and we need to address it in the future when they come to us, that we'll have to consider it. But for now, I don't see a safe way of allowing parking on this street.
Are we talking all the way to Morningstar or stopping at Drumlin Ridge?
We would go all the way to the dead end down here.
All the way to the dead end.
I think you have to treat it the same because how's somebody gonna get past?
So where the median is, I think that makes complete sense, but further down, there's not enough room for on-street parking? Further
Down-
south?
right
Further south
here?
of the median?
Like right here on my screen?
Or like, let's say in between Drumlin and Morningstar?
No, no.
There's
The
not
med-
enough room.
The medians are all the
Oh,
same width.
Sorry, I'm not reading it right. That's median there still.
Yep, these are,
Okay,
there's
sorry.
3 different medians here.
My apologies. Yeah, okay.
Will they be allowed to park at the end there?
I would recommend not.
Okay.
Yeah, if we want to be able to get in and out of our lift station in an
Correct.
emergency, we don't want cars blocking our vac truck from getting in there.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Otherwise, we can entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to eliminate parking on Bus Road from Cottage Grove Road south to the limits of the plat in Shady Grove.
Is there a second?
Second? Oh, sorry.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No? Abstain? Okay, motion passes. Sorry, I spaced out for a second there. We'll move to E, discuss recommendation to Village Board to change order Johnson Health Bike Path repaving into the 2026 Streets and Pedestrian Improvement Project.
So this committee did not meet in April after the Public Works Committee in March with this committee's recommendation to Village Board to approve both Alternative 1 and Alternative 2, which included Cottage Court and the Johnson Health Tech repaving. Given that we were under budget, Village Board ultimately decided to not move forward with the Johnson Health Tech portion of that of the aspects. So they included Cottage Court, but Johnson Health Tech was not included in the overall base bid of the project. In discussing with Wolf Construction, it has been brought to my attention by a Village Board member to bring this back to Village Board to see if Village Board will reconsider bringing the Johnson Health Tech path back in to the project. It would be change ordered in, even though it was part of the original, it was an option. It wasn't included as the contract price. They have agreed to honor their original bid price, so it would be $50,850 to bring that back into the project. For some background information, Village Board had discussed about how Commerce Park will be reconstructed, pavement and sidewalk improvements looked at 2031. So that was one of the aspects on why it was pushed, that why not do that bike path at 2031. With escalation, you're looking at about $80,000 at that time of what that would cost, based on the bids for this year and doing an approximate escalation.
And in previous years, the bid was in the 70s, right? 74 or something like that?
Correct.
So it could be even more?
Correct.
in 5
All
years?
depends on the bidding times. And this was,
Yeah.
so what I did was, the 2025 low bid was 55. So this price, and so in 2026, we had 50. The low bid in 2025 was 55, but someone was up at 70, but there were 3 other bidders, and the average cost was $60,000. So I escalated 5% on that $60,000. Who knows what fuel's going to do over the next couple years, or what times will change. So.
Okay, thank you. I was not the board member that asked to put this on, but I am in favor of putting it back on. But I will throw it to anybody else who wants to talk about it.
One thing I forgot to mention, as part of the Monona Grove School District paths that are going in front of the both schools, we are getting reimbursed $100,000, $110,000 for their portion of the path that they were required to do as part of their developers agreements for the construction of both of those schools. So additional background information that we did not have at time of bids.
So I opposed this last time, and I'll pose it again, but I just want to say, if the village has no ability to take a scoop of asphalt with their skid loader and just skim coat over the bad parts to potentially save on this project, or grind down the bumps, or any other possible mediation strategies that are available to us, like, is there any?
We've been cold patching it over the last several years, and cold patch only lasts so long. Now that we do have the hot box, there is a potential, but there are so many spots, and we can only do it in little sections,
You
given
can't
our.
do like a full width path
We
of
could-
like a 6 at 10-foot section?
We can do like a 10-foot by 5-foot section, but our asphalt capabilities are only so big for what we have. It's made for small patches, not for that entire large chunk of multiple different, so you're gonna have a joint at every single location.
I was one at the village board level that wanted this punted. I just don't see, I'm in that area every day, and I just don't see it getting a ton of use. And, you know, I think one of my concerns is yes, we could change order it, and yes, we have savings from the school district, but I also think that the village is gonna have to do some rebudgeting with the fuel costs, as they are right now. And so I would still keep this with 2031. And actually, when we do our village prioritization, I think that that whole area will need something sooner than 2031. Because as I drive every day, that the road condition is already tough, and then we've got construction that'll be going on up there, and so this could be sooner, hopefully, I hope. That's just my 2 cents.
Any other discussion? Otherwise, we could entertain a motion if anybody wanted to make one.
I'll make a motion to include this and pass it on to the village board for their approval at their request.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
Motion passes 3-2. Directors and engineering report.
We had 33 rain barrels that were for sale, that's included in a pallet. All 33 were sold and picked up here in April, so super exciting on that aspect. We have submitted our 2027 salt purchase for the 2027 winter season. WISDOT facilitates the bids again for different municipalities, so we all get the same cost per tonnage. We should be finding out that cost here in the upcoming weeks. We requested 80 tons of salt for an early fill, so we'll get 80 tons yet this calendar year, this 2026 calendar year, and then 100 tons for 2027. The 80 tons will be to fill our shed to capacity for what we have used so far. Safe Streets for All, great news. We have signed it. We are waiting for the city's official signature. They're supposed to be coming in the next couple weeks per the contact at the MPO. I am working on a request for proposals to reach out to different consultants so we can move forward with the village's active transportation plan. As a reminder, or if you were not involved, because I was not involved, JJ submitted a grant in 2024 for the active transportation. The federal government was delayed, so we are now moving forward with it. There's a handful of communities, including us. Dane County has money, Verona, Shorewood, and I believe there's one more that I cannot think of, that all got this grant as part of the MPO. We have $150,000. It's $150,000. 120 of it is from the grant, and 30 of it is for village funds. As part of the proposal, I do plan on including some intersection traffic and pedestrian counts, looking at specifically the locations where we have RRFBs as part of this grant project. We will be incorporating our bike and ped plan that we've already previously approved into this overall active transportation plan. Cameron's going to talk about it a little later here in a second, but we are working through our capital prioritization plan for Village Board. One thing that you guys will be seeing, our Village Board will be seeing, and they will be discussing and considering, is looking at major intersections within the village. So BB&N intersection, Bus and Cottage Grove Road, Gaston and Main Street, kind of the big intersections where we get a lot of questions on traffic that are outside of those that would be included in the Safe Street for All grant. So the Village Board will be looking if they're interested in including that in 2027. You guys saw the official traffic map. I'm correlating that with the traffic management and stop sign policy, so more will be coming, as well as those ordinances. The e-waste event was in April. It was a huge success. We did get final information for the numbers just earlier this week. We recycled 2.48 tons of flat screen TVs, just shy of a ton of tube TVs, 3.8 tons of DVD, VCR, printers, computers, and we had 0.3 tons of just wire, because all of the wire has to be cut off from each of the things. So Lisa was in charge of wire. She did a great job cutting. And Cam helped too. He did pretty good. And Cassie as well. So a lot of stuff. We filled almost 2 semis again. Our MS4 permit was due at the end of March, and it's been completed for the annual report. I am proposing, and more information will be forthcoming in the coming weeks, for a joint meeting with Utility Commission. This committee approved Strand to complete the stormwater quality management plan as part of the grant back in 2024. Strand has now finalized that plan and are ready to present the 333-page document that I get to read to you guys. However, they are also doing a stormwater feasibility, and we are looking at implementing a stormwater utility. At that point in time, when the utility, if it does go through, would move to the Utility Commission jurisdiction and oversight. So the thought would be to combine both committees to get one big presentation for all parties. Corey Ridge has just some punch list items, and we're still waiting to find out when they're going to do their last section of School Road. The Amazon facility has started their offsite improvements. As you are probably well aware, we had a PIM at the end of April, and all that information can be found on the village's website. Heyday had pavement markings along West Cottage Grove Road. You'll see that there's a bike lane and some turn lanes. The improvements on Bus Road and the multi-use path are still waiting to occur when summer break occurs. I've been told May 18th is the week for the railing to be installed. That last portion of the railing. I have been told it's happening. We'll see if it does. I have a running joke with Parisi that is completing the Gaston Road water main project, on which Parisi crew is going to be done first. The 2026 project is up and running. Nightingale and Cottage Court are going to be pulverized here next week, and all the concrete has been poured, and most has been poured on Clearbrook Terrace and Stoneheath. With that, that's my very long updates, and I know Cameron has something to add.
The village board president has asked me to come to each committee and just kind of talk about what expectations are from the budget timeline. Kind of as a reminder, each year we try to incrementally improve the process, make sure we're getting community involvement, committee involvement, and ultimately producing the best budget document possible. So currently, the month of April and May are really the time that staff are refreshing major capital projects that are ultimately graded and prioritized by the village board. That being said, one of the things that Kyla and I talked about was potentially in June, possibly in July, was bringing the 10-year maintenance schedule. So that those are projects that are not prioritized by the board, but within our $1 million a year approximately allocation, the road repavement is laid out. So bringing it for Public Works for feedback, just to allow this committee to have that kind of feedback. With Kyla completing the updated PACER rating at the end of 25 in that every other year cycle, feeling very confident that those accurately reflect the true state of each road. And then as we kind of go through the process, in July, that is when ultimately the village board will be presented the first draft of their prioritization. And approve the prioritization. Ultimately, what happens there is there's not a tax impact identified. So there may be, when the financial management plan is presented with all the capital projects in there, it's very likely that either some projects will be added or shuffled to ensure that there's not any major tax spikes or borrowing concerns. And then ultimately, kind of at the same time with the financial management plan hopefully approved about September 8th, Public Works will be meeting the first meeting in September to approve the Public Works budget. It likely will not be the same night as Utility Commission, because Utility Commission will have to ultimately adopt their water and sewer budget and review their stormwater utility cash flow for the first time, being kind of a new established utility. So I'll be sending out, once I have confirmed dates on budget review and some additional board action on Monday, the final timeline to the committee, but just wanted to make sure that the committee was aware of kind of the overall timeline and expectations, and certainly reach out for any questions or concerns.
Any questions on that or any of the things that Kyla went over? Go ahead, Paul.
Not a question, but I do want to compliment Kyla. The Amazon project information meeting was very intense, and you did a great job, remaining calm and trying to calm people down, as well as giving them correct information. And so I just really want to say thank you for that, because I know that wasn't easy.
Anyone else? Otherwise, we can move to number 8, future agenda items. Anybody have any future agenda items? No? Okay, then we can move to number 9.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second, non-debatable. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.